So, before we get into the team builder this week, I have to break to you some big news. Some big changes have gone on behind the scenes of New Jersey. So I take over Quill into my office and I tell him our schedule's looking like we're playing a sand team, a melodic, a king gambit, and then his little brother Bisharp. There's a rain team we have to play in the middle, which you're good into, but it's like guard chomp rain, so you're only like kind of good into it, you're fine. And I say, we're kicking you off the team. And I don't want you thinking you can go over to a rain team and swift swim your way to a playoff spot. So I reached out to Mr. C.M. Hold of the Carolina Quash and said, do you want this quill? And he says, yes, I want this quill. So he's going to give me his overquill for his Umbreon, which I will then turn into a Rock Nest, which is above base 100 speed, and I feel like I'm really starting to need two guys above base 100 speed. It will hardly alter my type chart at all. It'll match up very, very well into my whole schedule. This week, it can hit practically everything my opponent has for super effective damage. In week 6, it'll be faster than both Hisuian Zoroark and Volcarona. Week 7 is Rain, not coming to that one. It will be a good option until my week 8 Sand matchup. It's not the great, but it gets the rock boost, it'll be fine. And it'll demolish all of my week 9's upper tiers. I was very confident this trade added damage and speed to my team where it may have lacked in the past. I was also twiddling my thumbs about trading Snorlax out. It's like worse setup than Como, and I'm too pushy to ever do Belly Drum. And while it's my third best Trick Room sweeper, which is a bad thing, it's still a very solid option out of Trick Room. But then I'd only be running like Double Edge, High Horsepower, Yawn, and Protect. And if I'm going to be running that set every week, why don't I just run Gastrodon and get both a Fire, Water, Grass Core and Storm Drain out of the deal? But it's significantly weaker than Snorlax in both its move-based power and raw stats. It's another 4 times weakness combined with Como's Fairy weakness, and Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon ever. I want to win with it. There were just a lot of ands or buts that made me hesitant to make that trade. But then the morning of October 5th came. Blizzard, my good friend Blizzard, played Mike Titan of the somethings, they start with an F, and she lost pretty badly. And I say to her, after that game, you gotta diff that 8. And I counted for this. It's come through 2 of her 9 games, and it's like games, not sets. And all it's done is bulk up, then die, and then be a sack. It has not done a single point of damage. And she says, okay, that was my 8th thing to go, and well, I like the slacking, but sure. So I skim through the high tiers and go, okay, she likes Lamora, that doesn't have that much special damage in the first place, that's good. Its Bastar's got a lot of fun support and can do the stored power sweep thing, that's good. And then Mimikyu's like a mini Annihilate, but you can get a Trick Room thing going. So, that stays the same. And I tell her all that, and I expect her to ignore me, because I'm just saying shit. But she really likes it, and 3 minutes later, she trades all those guys away for the 3 I said. Which I, did not expect that. I thought she would at least deliberate on that more. And I think to myself, a similarly short amount of time later, like 20 minutes later, well, I kind of want that 8. So I did it. I traded for that 8. And we make this trade with a heavy heart. Como is my friend, I brought it to Baltimore. I wanted to keep up like that Como theming at the draft, but I just haven't been able to use it the way I want to. I want it to be a Swiss Army knife of setup, but I just don't think having an S tier be your setup is very good. I learned this lesson in CPDL where I hated my team the whole time. My biggest success was setup in draft has been like Swords Dance Landorus Therian or Swords Dance Iron Thorns or Combine Iron Crown that you don't necessarily expect on the team builder. And when Como is not only the expected setup every game, but the biggest threat on the team without anything of equivalent power that demands you pay attention to that, it's really not that hard to handle. Dazzling Gleam forces it to Terra really easily. It doesn't matter even with all my setup options if they expect Iron Pressing at Clangor, Soul, or Dragon Dance, if their plan was just to like fake out taunt me, or haze me, or clear smog me in the first place. And I found myself not being able to fit all the coverage I wanted because its stabs aren't very good when Terra is available. I liked using the Life Orb and the Sachets, but those are just not the best way to run Como. I'd be squandering its potential. And while it's not like Ape solves the problem of being predictable setup, having Fighting Ghost coverage is way, way better because it's only resisted by 2 Pokemon, one of which has to Terra to wall you, which is, much more manageable than having someone Terraing at the Fairy. And even its Scarf Final Gambit will synergize much better with my Trick Room mode than Como ever did too. And Since Como and Ape are both fighting types, they share almost all of the weaknesses. Como has an ice weakness that Ape doesn't. All of my support and team building works just as well. I'm trading out my lovable Blurbo Unfi of a Dragon for the loaded to the gills, power crept, cheesy cousin Annihilate. So now, stats-wise, they have about the same level of bulk, but Ape is faster than Como because it has Rage Fist and stronger than Como, so it doesn't have to invest as much into either offensive stat, so it's effectively just as strong, if not more strong, and even more bulky. It's ridiculous. Ape is the most power crept thing in this gen. So I do that, and I go, okay, I definitely don't want Snorlax now. And I think, ooh, I don't have a dragon anymore. Can I get Hydrapple? But no, that's too much overlap with Lurantis. And then, ooh, maybe Garganacl could be fun. But no, I just don't have the support for it. So I do that Snorlax to Gastrodon trade. Since I've lost Clanging Scale and like the special damage of Como, I really need another special attacker. So Gastrodon fits a lot better. Stone Drain works better with Ape instead of Como because Ape does not resist water. And then Lycanroc's Dust Trade doesn't really make sense anymore because Gastrodon and Ape fulfill all my coverage needs. But I still don't want this Overquill, and the only thing left in B with its speed set for base 100 is the other Lycanroc and Cinccino. I go, okay, I can use speed up on my Ape. This will be my little mouse Ape thing. Cinccino does not get beat up. I'll just have to run Brutal so I can take a ton if I want to do that. But like, Cinccino's super strong with Technician loaded either band skill link. It's doing loads of damage with effective base 150, base 180 moves, so it'll OHKO weaknesses and do a solid 60-70 to neutral hits with Tail Slap. It might be under tiered. I had my eye on it ever since it was someone called a vote to bring it up to A. But like, it really wants to hold Sash, and it can't because of loaded dice, and it's a little too reliant on inaccurate moves, and it can't hit steals ever. So like, I don't know, I mean, it has knockoff, but that's not, you know, it's knockoff of base 95, it's not good. So like, I don't know about this one. We'll use experimental chinchilla calc technology for this one, but it's very reminiscent of Hisui and Samurott to me, which I loved using, so good vibes. But we have our narrative now. New Jersey is tossing aside its hometown heroes, Como and Snorlax and Overquill. So the roided up power corrupt Annihilate, the gambling Gastrodon, and the cyborgs and Chino. We're selling our soul, and we don't know if that'll result in a glorious 8-0 sweep, or if we're going to embarrassingly bust her out and need to learn the value of friendship for our next season. I don't know which one will happen, but I know how you can find out. You have to watch my team builder. So, this week, the first week, has another story behind it. My opponent dropped out and got replaced with a winner of our previous season in this league, the venerable Pokemon and Beer. Winner of the best username contest for 3 years in a row, so I hear. So this league lets you make unlimited trades when you inherit a team that do not cut into the 4 trades you can make. And my opponent has improved the original team a lot, and not to sound arrogant, but the original version of the team I had to play, I would have absolutely mulched. It was like 95-5 in my favor. It had Incineroar as an S tier and it's Annihilate, which is already horrible for them, even the Como version was horrible. And then the most threatening offense they had into me besides that was Dragalge, which Tinkaton True Walls by being immune to both its stabs, and then it's got 87 Spa, Muddy Waters, which isn't doing anything, and then Quaquaval, which Gastrodon and Annihilate would be able to True Wall as well. And then I could have like done Follow Me Bulk Up or just had Lurantis Superpower next to Magmar and then won no contest. The things they had to do to beat me, like Burning Jealousy and Incineroar, and like I think something with the Klefki, like Trick Room Klefki, maybe, I think required way too much thinking that could reasonably be expected for week 5. So, but Beer has transformed that team into something probably 5 to 10 times better. The original team, I felt, had 3 mini modes. It could outbulk with screen setup, it had a Trick Room mode with a lot of slow guys to slow the same slow guys that benefited from screens, and then it had a rain mode. So Beer added a Hippowdon and a Lycanroc, which synergizes well with that team without disrupting the existing modes all that much. Manda, Buzz, and Arbalava, which they already had, work well with Sand, Overcoat, and Seed Sower to negate the Sand Chip, and Klefki Steel. Added Golurk and Fortress, which are both good in Sand and Trick Room. Fortress in particular is incredible on this team. It's good on all the modes, I've said before, and probably glues the rain mode together. Standout D tier, I said it should be C. You didn't listen. I don't have anything to say about the Emperors. I think you should have kept the Zebra. But the big trade is Incineroar for Salamence, which is a million times better than in draft. It's got infinite flexibility because it's a mixed attacker. It's got Tailwind speed control. It can do both Hurricane Rain sweep and a D-Dance setup sweep. There's so much it can do. It doesn't really synergize too well with any of the other modes besides Rain, which again has some inherent anti-synergy with the team, which I do think is kind of a red flag. And I think Como honestly could have been better on this team because of Overquote. But like they don't have any redirection, they don't have any fake out. Not their fault. There was no redirection or fake out left, I think. So, like Salamence is a good stats deck. It's not going to matter. And the team was built or an Intimidator in the first place, so I get wanting to preserve that vision in your version. So how do I beat this new souped up team? First, I tried setup with Annihilate, because of course I would. Well, the Sand mode just makes that too difficult. I would have to burn Terra on Magmars just so it can do its job of being a redirector. Not forget about Rock Slide, it has Rock Slide. Taunt on Lycanroc, it just has to taunt twice and negate my setup, and then I get Yawned. With the hit pad on, that sucks. And like I could run Vital Spirit on Annihilate, but then even if they do bring Intimidate, then I'm screwed. I don't know, there's a lot that sucks. But then I got a little more offensive with self-targeting Skill Link Cinccino, which would boost the Rage Fist on an Assault Vest Annihilate, but that's inconsistent because of the Rock Blast accuracy, and the Bullet Seed option, which is consistent because of accuracy, just does too much to Ape. It's not faster than much on their team either, which, prevents me from sweeping very well. But it's still a good idea, so I'm still going to run it. It will be used as a side mode to a Trick Room strategy, though. So this Ape is, as you can expect and see, our final Gambit. Originally, I didn't want to do Trick Room in this matchup, because I don't want to immediately make everyone aware of my Scarf Gambit Ape mode. And like, it's pretty obvious, but it's not that obvious. But if there's any matchup I could use the bonus surprise factor in, it's this one. Scarf Taunt is my adjustment for setup, or yawns, or whirlwinds in Game 2. This Ape hits 181 speed with Scarf, which is one more than max speed Lycanroc. So max speed Cinccino can still hit it with a multi-hit move, and it'll hopefully be able to get off a fast sweep with Rage Fist. And like, I think that's very good to a reaction to Trick Room failing, as well. It has Inner Focus, so it can't be flinched by Rock Slide, both because I don't really need the Defiant boost in the first place, and I'm just going to be killing myself. And I think the Salamence will be Moxie even if it's a special attacker, so who needs that? But Gambit 8 gives me a lot of nagging doubts. The rest of this team structure, I feel, makes it pretty obvious that I'm going for Gambit 8 in Team Preview. And if I had Magmar instead of Tinkaton, maybe it would be more ambiguous, but Of course, if I Gambit into a Protect or Terra Ghost, or they have a Scarfer that's faster than Annihilate, what they should be, because Noivern would, outspeeding Noivern with Scarf necessitates being faster than my Annihilate in the first place. And that's just bad, and I shouldn't be too paranoid about a Terra Ghost, because you don't Terra Ghost in the Annihilate matchup unless you're 100% sure it's going to be Final Gambit Ape. There's definitely ambiguity here, but a lot of turn 1, game 1 pressure, and I have to get lucky game 1, or adjust very well in the next games. And just while we're here, because we're talking about it, this is the Cinccino. It's not running any stabs because most of their team is weak to either grass or ice, and the ones that aren't resist normal, so why bother? Also, Ampharos isn't in either, but I don't care about Ampharos. After you lets my Trick Room sweepers do something out of Trick Room, and if Annihilate is inefficient at setting up Trick Room, but Trick Room is still good, I can use After You with Cinccino, and hopefully it'll die, and then it can go down the Sand Chip. It could be Rock Blast for a lower damage Ape setup and to kill Frostlass, but this defense lets her live a Life Orb dual Wing Beat, I think. that's jolly. These are both Terra Electric, so they can't be 2-wave by Klefki. So then my third support is Tinkaton. It's there's a lot of ground moves on that team, and there aren't that many special attackers, so Shuka makes sense here. It'll probably be my last mon in Trick Room. I'll lead Annihilate, Oranguru, Gastrodon, or and then Tinkaton. But their only natural resist to its 2 stabs are Fortress, who I'm kind of screwed on anyway. So I'm just running these 3 moves and then Feint to guarantee I'll key kills in Trick Room. If something gets yawned, I can switch it out for Tinkaton and then do Feint Encore on a Protect, or just Feint Attack, and that's very good. But she's mostly here to give my team the veneer of being not hard Trick Room. But like, 'cause even then, I think like Tinkaton 8th, Pidgeotto Gastron is kind of realistic to expect, so I don't know. But I've got one last support, and it's my one and only Trick Room setter of choice. It's the Oranguru, who isn't anything special. Trick Room, Instruct, Mental Herb, standard. Very few special attackers again, so I'm doing like max relaxed. But I have two special tricks. One is Encore, in case Gambit goes into a Protect, I can Encore them into that Protect and then switch the Ape out. Or I can Instruct the Nihilate to do the final Gambit just to make Ape do it again and still get that free switch. It will always target into the same slot it targeted in the first place, so it still might not be that good. But the last move slot was FE. The Stabs, Hyper Voice, Psychic, and then Brick Break all had their uses, but they hit into some immunity on that team, so I'm just going to be boring and do Foul Play. That's my Golurk Answer. Obviously, because I don't have Fake Out, and then like I do Terra Dark Foul Play, and then they can let me kill the Golurk, or like that's my damage options. And then my two Trick Room abusers are dependent on what they bring. They're reactive. I bring Gastrodon if they bring Forretress, and Lurantis if they don't. Gastrodon speed ties with Arboliva in Trick Room, which sucks. And while playing that speed tie game is bad, if it's coming alongside Forretress, I'm gonna have to do it. Life Orb. It has to be Life Orb, even though Instructing would be getting rid of 18% health turn. I just needed to get the Okos or 2-hit KOs that I need. Surf doesn't have low accuracy, and the ground ice covered is perfectly serviceable when I'm not next to a Oranguru. It was Terra Fairy to beat Salamence even harder, but with Trick Room that's a non-issue, so it's Ghost to beat Fortress even better, and to wall Quaquaval. Recover over Protect is iffy, but with no Fake Out, I'll be fine. And then Lurantis is the star of this team. And it's running Muscle Band, which is really scrubby. Muscle Band is a horrible item. Originally it was Power Band to underspeed Fortress and Arboliva, but I'm not bringing Lurantis to Fortress, so I'm just gonna, and if I just play better against Arboliva, or it doesn't come because it's weak to fighting, I will be fine, and I get mildly more damage. But why would I run this mildly more damage instead of Citrus or Assault Vest? Because even at 4 HP or defense, Lurantis is unable to 2-hit KO Salamence with Stellar Terra Blast. There is an item that boosts Stellar type moves, and Gastrodon has the Life Orb, so I can't run that. I have to use Muscle Band if I want to beat Salamence. Super bulky like 252 HP Mence is a roll to live the double up, but hard Trick Room always involves some sort of gambling. I'm fine with taking that risk on a roll. Citrus and Assault Vest's problem is it only lets me beat either Dual Wing Beat for Citrus or Air Slash for Assault Vest, and not both, and I can't give up on Terra Blast Stellar and run a defensive Terra. So, Muscle Band it is. Muscle Band also boosts Instruct Petal Blizzard to be a 2-hit KO on like 252 HP about on if I Terra Stellar. So that's everyone, but what am I scared of? Quite a lot. There's a lot of crazy stuff here. I'm not going to go into all the different things. It could be Terra Ghost, it could be anything as far as I'm concerned. It randomly ruined me, but like Switcheroo, Lagging Tail, Klefki is very bad for Trick Room. Imprison, Trick Room, Klefki is very bad if it's Sash, unlike if it's Terra Ghost, I probably auto-lose there. Iron Press Fortress is super strong into me, but I'm going to hope Annihilate and Magmar deter it. Yawn or Whirlwind to Powdon is the most straightforwardly useful thing to bring in this matchup and makes it very difficult to do Trick Room if I can't get rid of that Hippowdon quickly. Everything slower than Oranguru is a problem to my Instruct game plan, and my Encores most importantly. But I can always be bailed out by him forgetting to make his Pokemon max speed or just not doing that in the first place. I'm 100% certain Moxie Salamence will come, even if that means it's not physical, because Sun Boosted Heat Wave is really good into me. If it does Intimidate and does gives me an Intimidate Contrary boost, very good for me. But here's a fun fact. This weekend is Louisville, or Louisville, whatever, the regional Pokemon Louisville. And I said going into it that it'll be Corviknight or Klefki's weekend. It wasn't. Those guys did not win. But it could be Klefki's weekend now. I think I've got a Klefki. Let's hope it's not Klefki's weekend here. I gotta make sure my extension's turned on. There we go. My liquid, whatever it's called, is on. So now I have to wait 20 seconds before I make any decision, which will hopefully prevent me from making embarrassing blunders like last time. But the 6 seemed very simple. This is the exact team I expected in prep, more or less, is what the Quaquaval
Could have been like Mandibuzz or something. But I know what I want. I know what I have to do. There's no Fortress, which is the best thing for me. So we just don't want to see any Terra Ghosts for my final Gambits, or... oh, fuck, I don't know. I'm surprised they brought Quackavole into Gastrodon a little bit. That's what I saw was kind of up in the air from Brilliant. Something maybe a little conventional, stronger. Let's see. I don't know anything about. I just know that the Pokemon here is a very powerful player with a number of bodies in his wake. I don't know how long he likes to play his games. He's methodical if he's a speedster, but we're waiting on him nonetheless. Oh, there we go. Richard Belmont and Simon Belmont and Cave and Fave. Oh, they're all named like me. Isn't that cute? So, we know all about Final Gambit. We Final Gambit the... I guess we Final Gambit the Salamence, because we don't care about the... yeah, no, we Final Gambit the Salamence at no cost. But... because of Imprison Trick Room. I mean, not because of Imprison Trick Room, because of Instruct Final Gambit. Yep, that's fine. That's double fine. I still get my free switch unless I get Parad. Yep. And now we get to see Muscle Band put in work. Actually, do we put... I don't know if we Muscle Band here, because it's dual Wing Beat, and it's not... it might be Banded. I don't know what Banded does. We can check what Bandit does to the... so that did... if it was any boosting item... it would have killed the... Annihilate. So it's not that. So we're just going... and if at Lurantis at +2... what we'll just assume is like Adamant... would take 75. Oh, it's not Choice Band. It would take 40, so we're just going to do that. Yeah. Ooh, that's interesting. It wasn't Dinner Focus 8, which is funny. So, I think now we pop Terra Blast on this Lurantis. We pop... what does Terra... because what does +2 Terra... what does +2 first Terra Blast do? +252. Attack it. It will just barely not do enough. Which isn't good. But... well, no, because they do that, and then we Encore View into your move. Yeah, okay, that didn't work. But... yeah, I knew that would come. And I'm slower than it in Trick Room. That's crazy. I reveal Encore, which isn't good. I don't want to reveal Encore. Klefki. And then... this is a little tricky. This is a little tricky here because, in case the Quackavole has Protect. But I think I'm fine because they burned Patera so I could just get the superpower again. If the Quackavole is Sash or something, I get to do it next turn. It's only bad if I instruct on the switch into Salamence as well. And then I just instruct, and like, this Quackavole is probably Sash, I would bet. No, it's not Sash. That's very interesting. That was a comma. Alright. My wonderful +4 Alucard will take this home. Because what, he can protect? He protects and then I just set up again. Which is... no, because he just... I live a dual wing beat or whatever the fuck he does. I guess just not choosing. I guess that means... I don't know. I don't know what that could mean. So we do that again, that's good. I mean, don't fix what ain't broke is my motto for these, and I'm gonna stick to that. So do I want... I think the way it went, I'm gonna bring Shanoa in the back, just because I like her. Like, because Tinkaton didn't do much, I think that's a physical Salamence, which I don't know much about, but I think it could be more useful in the end. Because I have Terra Electric if Klefki leads again, which is very good. Because I think I'm willing to Terra Electric here, kill the Salamence. Because like he has to, I'm pressuring to lead Klefki no matter what. He can either lead Hippowdon, Lycanroc, and like go for some flinch thing. Or like maybe Whirlwind out the the what's its name. But I don't think he'll do that. I smell the goobnut coming from a mile away, I'll be honest. Because what, the best lead, I think the best lead is Hippowdon, Lycanroc here, and I'm very well fortified against that. Yep, that's what did I tell you? Because what would be bad here is, I think I'm still fine. I'm still fine unless it's Whirlwind, specifically. Like, unless it's Roar or Whirlwind, I think I should be fine. Brave the Lycanroc is pretty funny, though. Oh, if this is not a max HP Lycanroc, it is not a max HP Hippowdon, I should say. It is a Yawn, which is pretty funny, and I do regret not bringing in Shanoa now. But I know what, I'm definitely slower than this Hippowdon. I'm definitely slower than this Hippowdon, so when I go for this Petal Blizzard, it will connect. The Yawn is pretty bad, but I should be able to leverage it very well if they attack into the other slot. So I'll do Petal Blizzard here, and I'll go out into you. And the goal here is to get my own guy dead. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine here. And then I think we Terra Stellar Petal Blizzard here. Taking the chip on Shanoa was good, just to make her die more. But like, yeah, this is fine. We go. As long as the Lycanroc stays dead, we're fine. So I don't think it should be able to do anything. But it's just Rock Slide. And if you do this again, I have Scarf Taunt, which is just as good. And then yeah, that goes down to its Taunt, goes down to its Sash. And that misses the pretty big miss, to be honest. So the question here is, do we Petal Blizzard again? Or do we do something fucked up with this Klefki? I think we have to. I think Parablast Stellar comes at pretty low risk. Or does no, because we do Parablast Stellar and then yeah, and then we Encore it into Protect and do the same thing next turn. Yeah. Then we what is let's just assume this is a max HP Klefki. If this is a max HP Klefki. Oh wait, there is literally no reason to not just target the Lycanroc here. And the Klefki, will the Klefki at plus 252 to 52 take a, it will kill, so I have no reason to not do this. They got the double protect, that sucks. I should have I guess attacking the Klefki was better, but no, I'm still fine. You can't stop Trick Room. You can't stop Trick Room from going back up. I'm not afraid of you. Do it again. Oh, they're going for the paraflinch, I see. And it does stop me. Okay. Well, I wish that didn't happen. I would have been a lot happier if that didn't happen. But let's see, no. That just has to not happen twice. That's all I need to happen. And then we do Terrablast Dollar with them again. That shouldn't be enough to kill. What's its name? That shouldn't be enough to kill what's its yeah. I just have to roll, just gotta roll the dice. And I'm not good at rolling the dice. I guess, oh, I want to maximize my trick room time, so I am going to throw a blizzard here. Oh! That's very curious. That's very curious. All right, that's a bad loss. Flash Cannon Klefki is interesting. But I think with this, I should have everything should work out in my favor, right? Because I have Bullet Seed into you. I have Encore into you. You do have CC. And I got Flint, so I don't even get to see what's in the back. That's ridiculous. That's aggravating. That's pretty ridiculous and pretty aggravating, if I do say so myself. Not getting to see what's in the back is suck. I don't agree with that. I'm denying open team season rage. I mean, we do the same lead again. I think we just have Tinkaton in the back. Bringing Shinoa was not wise. But we know what happens now. I know that the Hippowdon wants to taunt me. I know that... I think I have all of the pieces in place now. Right? If he leads Klefki and something else, I taunt. If he leads the same Hippowdon Lycanroc stuff, I taunt the Hippowdon so it can't yawn me. If he leads Klefki and else, I can still Terra Electric Final Gambit, which is good. Let's see. That's fine. We Terra Electric Final Gambit and set up Trick Room. Unless it's Scarf, which would suck. But no, I'm not gonna do that. Knew it. We both burn our Terra. I have no reason to not double superpower this Arbalova now that it has burned Terra. I know all of the Klefki's moves. I also know it cannot Terra, but let's see. Does 2 times reflect? Does 2 reflect? Does kill. So we're just going to do this because I have nothing better to do. That's pretty smart. It's not going to save you, but that's very clever. Awesome. Oh, and it killed in one shot. Good for me. mean, if the Salamence, this could be bad, but I don't think it will be. I love my Laurentis. Laurentis is the Trick Room setter I needed so much. Okay, that is kind of bad, but... Oh, it is Mirror Herb. That's cute. Mirror Herb is cute. But we have Foul Play, so that literally doesn't matter. We have to... It will kill, but we're going to hit the... We just hit the Klefki, we kill the Klefki, we Encore the Salamence to protect, and... Oh, and it missed! Karma. Super Karma! That's awesome. I deserve that. Laurentis deserves every kill. Laurentis deserves every kill I can give it. Let's see, wait, this... Petal Bliss... Petal Blizzard or Superpower, how would you like to go out? Oh, I opened... You can see on my phones. Petal Blizzard, okay. The people want the Petal Blizzard, we'll give them the Petal Blizzard. Woo! It was a crit! Awesome. Big GG. Big GG. That was the strongest single target Petal Blizzard in the world. I love my bug. Bug Yuri wins. Bug Yuri's redemption has happened. And we're all the better for it. I would like to thank my friends, the creators of the game Castlevania. I would like to thank Bug Yuri. I would like to thank the Academy. I would like to thank Cat Pun and Level 100 for Alligator. And Street. I know Street. I know you're watching the Street. Okay, goodbye.